Yo! Video games.
This is the most legit top 10 list of any top 10 list. Like, fuck award shows, fuck like big, giant websites. Yeah, like no one's paying. We are 100% like this is just our opinion, completely untainted.
My number 5 is fucking Mario vs. Rabbids.
Yeah, and I don't think this should be a shock because if it was March, no one would say that, right?
No.
Or if it was E3, no one would sit there and be like, top 5, fuck that. I don't know. Every single person who touched that game came away impressed.
I was shocked. I mean, I was excited for it after E3.
Yeah.
I was, we watched, I don't think we played any of it at E3, but we watched a bunch of it.
Lines are too long.
But is it a dumbed down XCOM? Yeah, it is. It is dumbed down technically.
Yeah.
But the music is fucking great.
Mm-hmm.
Overall, it has enough complexity that it keeps you interested. I think it's I would describe it as breezy in the fact that like you'll go through battles and no battle is gonna last you an hour unless you're really fucking up.
That was kind of a good thing though.
Yeah, I think that's a great thing, especially for a handheld strategy game.
Yeah.
Which is my favorite way to play strategy games is like as a handheld quick thing. If I had any criticism of it, it would just be that it could stand to have a bigger team size. I think it's like 3 or something like that. I don't know why I'm blanking on that right now. I just played it like 3 hours ago.
3 what?
I think it's 3 people on your team.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you get 3 people on your team, max. Yeah. And I don't own it. Like, JJ loaned it to me, and she's just let me fucking play it for months now.
Yeah.
But even she was saying that she likes it because it's breezy, and you can, like, pick it up and you can go and stuff. I didn't realize that the music is done by...
Grant Kirkhope.
Grant Kirkhope.
Oh,
Kirkhope.
No.
No, Kirkhope.
If anything, he's a nog fiend, not a coke fiend.
Well, isn't he tall and lanky? He might be a coke fiend, you just don't know.
No, he's just British.
Oh, well. But yeah, I followed him on Twitter, and that's how I found out that he did the music. And I should have known because of all the times that you've had me listen to Kirkhope's music, just like by bringing it up over the 2 years we've been doing the podcast. And then I go back and I listen to it. I should have recognized it. But then when I found out, I was just kind of like, oh, fuck yeah, that's right. Yeah, the music is really good.
I remember when they first started playing the game, because there was a rumor that he was doing it, and I heard it in 2 seconds. I was like, it's Kirkhope.
Yeah.
Like, like, not in a bad way. It was just kind of like, immediately as we saw the very first footage of the game at E3, and like I heard, I'm like, oh, yeah, that definitely is
In hindsight,
music.
I think you told me at E3 that he did the music.
Yeah.
And I just forgot. But I followed him again later, and then I was like, oh, shit, yeah. But yeah, no, I like the music. I feel bad putting it in the top 5 just because it's not like... There's nothing AAA about it, in a sense. Like, there's nothing, like, mind-blowing about it.
I don't know. Sometimes a good game's a good game. And I'm going to have the same things with my top 5, too.
Yeah. But, like... Evil Within 2 is not in my top 5, but, like, that... I feel like is the expected. Like, it should be in my top 5. Because, 1, I liked Evil Within 1 a lot. And I was looking forward to Evil Within 2, and it's a AAA game, and it's got that artsiness to it.
Yeah.
Like, Mario vs. Rabbids has no art to it, in a way, you know what I mean? Like, it wasn't made to, like, make you fucking go like, oh, shit, yeah, there's, like, an artistic point to this game. It has a great art style, I love it.
Yeah.
But you understand what I'm saying, right?
Yeah, they're not trying to have any sort of, like, thematic moral or message or
there's none of that.
The only emotion it's getting out of you is like it's fun.
Yeah, it's a light, breezy game. I like that. Evil Within 2 had obvious like themes, and it was trying to get a point across, and that was all great. And the only reason it's not in my top 5 is that it was good. It just wasn't great, and I felt like they dropped the ball in a couple places that I was just like, it doesn't deserve to be in the top 5.
Yeah.
But I did love it. I did love the game. Just I actually liked the movement better in Evil Within 1, and that's the one thing everybody was like.
Yeah.
I remember streaming, and people would be like, "What do you mean the movement's worse in this one?" I was like, "Movement's fucking worse in this one."
Movement wasn't bad in Mario+Rabbids, though, was it?
No, movement's fucking fantastic in Mario+Rabbids. But yeah, that's my number 5.
Okay, so for me, number 5 is Ys 8, Lacrimosa of Dana.
You keep surprising me because I keep thinking these games are going to be higher on your list.
Yeah.
Because Ys 8, I remember you really liking, so I thought it was going to be like 3.
I was surprised the fuck out of me. Like, it's good, so good, and it was, I mean, for full disclosure, like, the game was, I got an earlier, actually it wasn't early because the email went to my spam folder for some fucking reason,
because fuck you, that's why.
But yeah, like there was someone from full disclosure, NIS, basically wanted me to review it, I guess, or review or take a look at it. So I got an early copy. I ended up getting the copy like a day after the game came out, or as it was so fucking past it or whatever. So full disclosure about that, but me and Max have we have the same philosophy every time we talk to someone about this, where they say, "Hey, would you like to review this, or would you like to play this on your channel or on your stream?" And it's like, we will play anything you send us, but there's no guarantee. Like we always say, there's no guarantee we're gonna like it. And there's no guarantee we're gonna finish it. And and that's the same for me with Ys 8, where it was like, I knew about Ys. I had a mild curiosity about it. Like I knew it was like extremely budget. Like it came from a very, very small time developer that's been around for like 30 plus years.
Jesus.
But they just keep hammering out little small scale games. I knew it was an action RPG. I didn't know how fucking good it was gonna be though. Like I really this game surprised the hell out of me. It's the first third person 3D Ys game. Most of them, they've all been overhead. Even when they're 3D, they're still like overhead style. This is the first like third person style. They've always been fast paced games, like fast.
And it's an action RPG, so I'd like it.
So it's action RPGs, and they've always been fast paced. But holy fuck, like this game is so good. Like it's because basically from the story is this originally came out on Vita, and they brought the Vita version out here too in America this year. But it's like it's like a year or whatever later from the Vita, and then this is the PS4 version that I played. And the PS4 version runs at like a fucking buttery ass 60 because it's a Vita game. It's an up-res Vita game, and they up the frame rate. The PC version is still not out, and I'm gonna address this right now. Like, yeah, they were hoping to release the PC version the same time as PS4, but the PC version just wasn't good. It wasn't.
It was just running like shit.
It was running like shit. So from people who, I guess, insiders or testers were saying like it runs like shit. And in my opinion, made the right call and said, okay, fuck it, we're not releasing the PC version. Like, we're just going to push it back. And then they basically said, like, we thought maybe we could get it out within 3 weeks later. And then they're like, it's not optimal. Like, we don't know when it's coming out. We're just like Q1, I think is what they're saying, like sometime. But good on them for just saying, like, you know what, it don't work. We're not just going to shove out the PC version and have it be completely fucking broken.
Yeah, blue hole. It's fucked up.
But but the game itself, it's the thing that just blew me away. Kind of just like I got a little bit of a taste of it at E3. I was like, oh, action RPG, and it has witch time and parries. So
it's right up your alley. Yeah.
If you dodge at the right second, you get slow mo effects to wail on the enemy. You can parry their movements. Now the default control scheme was, I felt a little not the greatest, but like you can completely remap any button on the game. No problem, thank God. Just it's the story's good. I actually like the story. It's a small scale story, but like god damn does it work, like there are other RPGs that come out than other games, and they try to be way more. The stories suck. Not near.
Yeah.
Like Nier's more grand, epic scale, but like good. But like Ys 8's great. It's literally just about how you and your traveling companion were on a boat, and you got attacked by a giant fucking squid, and you got shipwrecked, and you end up on this island. Now this island's apparently like this. It's infamous for people like disappearing or ships crashing in and around it, right? And like never coming back, kind of thing.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
So you get shipwrecked on this basically this island that sailors were always afraid of going even anywhere near. and then you end up there. And so what you do is you just find survivors. You build up a shelter. So there's a sort of like very, very light building mechanic of building up this little, not village, but more just like living.
An outpost.
Outpost,
Yeah,
yes,
okay.
an outpost.
Yeah,
and then you got to like build up defenses. Because like there are beasts on the island that attack and stuff, and then they'll come in waves, and you can do like these optional wave fights.
Like tower defense and
like
that's pretty cool.
These optional wave fights of enemies coming in waves, and you like killing them, and you can set up like like posts like fences and catapults and stuff like that to do that. So that's totally optional. But yeah, then it has like this weird, crazy Lost-like story about as you go around exploring the island, you have like these weird like dreams of someone, and then like you eventually like meet the person, but then she's in the ruins of like once you get to the other side of the island, you find this whole ancient civilization that lived there.
Holy
but it's
shit.
all in ruins, and then like you see the person you've been dreaming about, but the person, when you dream about being this other person, it's like the civilization's flourishing, and then there's like this weird like time thing where it's like this mystery, like, hey, how the hell, what? And she's kind of like, what happened? Like, why is what happened to my city? What happened to my people? Like, they're all gone, kind of thing. All my friends are dead. There's dinosaurs.
All my friends are dead.
You find dinosaurs on the island and stuff, and it's
Good.
just like,
Yes.
It's intriguing. It's not like this sort of like this heady, like existential crisis existence bullshit.
Can you make a cloak out of the dinosaur feathers?
So it's not Monster Hunter.
God damn.
There are some costumes you can that will change your appearance, but otherwise it's not like that generally.
Oh, okay.
But it's super fast paced. You can switch characters like in a press of a button, because you usually have 3 characters with you, and like you have your sword fighter, your fencer, and then you have like your hammer swinger, kind of like, well, he swings a big anchor, but. And you can switch to them like press of a button. It's like it's instantaneous. You can beat bosses way under leveled if you're just that damn good at parrying or dodging their attacks.
I like that though.
You can do it.
I really like that when a game does that.
It'll be hard, and it might take a little bit of time, but not even that much time, all things considering, because it's so fast paced. But yeah, like you can be massively under leveled and kill things. If you're just that damn good at parrying and dodging their attacks.
That's fucking sick.
So I mean, it's like this game just does nothing but constantly impress me. And then like as you go around, you find other survivors, and like they have their own like skill sets and stuff that they bring.
Yeah.
Like you find a lady who's like or married to a blacksmith. She has smithing skills, so you help build up a smithy for her, and then that's how you get better weapons. And you find a doctor, so you can have him like research cures or potion antidotes, things, stuff like that. And then like you find like maybe like traders in your mists and stuff, all this stuff. Like it just. Like all this game has done is constantly impress me for hours and hours and hours and hours and hours.
And that's how it got to number 5. So I'm kind of
yeah, and it's like
what the fuck is your number
it's like,
4?
I almost keep expecting it to like fuck up at some point or just get like long-winded or dumb or blah blah blah, and it's like it almost can't, because just how fucking fast it moves, like the way you can do all these air dashes and stuff, and it doesn't let up. And the music's fantastic. Their music's always like they've got like this sort of like mixture of rock mixed with like Lord of the Rings-ish kind of like or
like
more
minstrel shit.
Not minstrel. I guess that maybe that's the wrong word, but just sort of like general like pleasant sounding RPG music mixed with rock. They do like this like really upbeat like rock ballad of
that's
like,
pretty
stuff.
badass.
And it's really good because apparently they have their own internal like band at Falcom, the company, the developers who make it.
Oh,
So they'll do like their own remixes of their own music and stuff. They have their own like rock band within the company. So
they just have guys that do all that shit for them.
yeah, it's just part of who they are. So God,
That's
like,
sick.
everything this game does has impressed me constantly. The only thing is people bring up is that it had a really interesting localization. The voice acting's good, but here's the thing. It is a extremely direct translation, and people gave them lots and lots of shit for the game. And what has NIS done? They have promised to relocalize the whole fucking game. They said originally, oh, we'll try to get a patch out within a month to address some of the localization problems. And then they're like, you know what? Looking at it, we're going to hire a new team of people to come in and relocalize, and we're going to bring the voice actors back, and we'll have like a big patch early this year to basically completely retranslate the game.
No shit.
Because it is extremely direct. Like it is not localized. It is translated. It is hard translated. It's led to some really funny moments
and stuff, yeah.
which I find the humor in, because the thing is, I remember gaming, back in the Genesis, SNES era, and like even NES, where like sometimes a game would come out and you'd see like a really odd translation. You'd be like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah,
and it's kind of got that like there's supposed to be like some like abyssal like abyss chasm, and it just translates to as big hole.
Yes, the big hole.
The big hole, and I'm like, this is amazing. But there's like something like, what is that? And like they see a dinosaur. When you come across a dinosaur, they're like, what is that? I think it's one of those ancient species that are no longer extinct. And like ancient species mean dinosaur.
Yeah.
Like I don't think dinosaur translate literally into Japanese. It's an ancient species. Okay, I get it. Like okay, so I that's one of the things I'm expecting in the.
I wonder who they hired to do the localization.
I don't know, but like apparently that guy did not. That guy was like, I'm doing direct, and that's fucking it. It's cohesive. It's not like out of order or anything like that. Like that's the thing is like, look, if it's not Herzog Zwei, gentlemen, you have no chance, make your time, all your bases belong to us. It's not that.
Yeah.
It's not that. It's just that it's a very direct translation. It's coherent. It's just. Yeah, ain't like old city instead of like some other name you might have just wanted to give it or something.
Yeah,
like
to localize it and
big hole, ancient species, stuff like that, where it's just kind of like okay, like.
Well, I'll be interested to see the new localization because it sounds like I would enjoy playing it.
But I mean, like, there's moments where I generally laugh out loud, like because the guy who wields the hammer or the anchor in your party, he's like this older fisherman, which is odd for Jap. He's not the main character, but you can run around as him as the main character if you want. Sahad, and he has funny moments where he'll be like, you'll wake up from a campfire and be like, "Oh, did you get a grits?" "Yes, I feel better now." And he'll be like, "I feel great. I had a big breakfast and took a big dump." Or sometimes he'll say, "I took a big shit and had a good breakfast. I feel great today." I'm like, I love this. I'm like, how do you translate better than that?
I don't know anything about translation. I don't even want to comment on it, but that sounds amazing to me.
But yeah, of the like the 2 or 3 people, Miles Uncharted being one of them, who've played Ys 8, everyone is fucking like blown away by this game. I can't get anyone else to pay attention. Max just laughs and blows it off every time I mention it. But like this game has done nothing but impress. Nothing but impress me. Like,
shit, okay.
Start to finish.
How long is the game, do you think?
It's about 40 hours, probably.
Oh, shit.
I don't know, because there's a lot of things you can do optionally that you really don't have to do, but you do anyways, because it's quick enough. It's not like, oh, I got to go on this long, like, tired, thing to do, this long quest and whatever. And it's like, it's not. It's like dash around, use the quick warps a lot. When you're fighting, it's just the fighting is so fucking fast and
okay.
Satisfying too.
So it's something that maybe I'll actually stream.
Yeah, and it's kind of one of those things like, well, there's definitely a lot of backtracking in it, but why do I not have the same criticism for this as I do for Nier? And that is because, and this comes down to a personal thing, the environments in Nier don't strike me as intriguing as Ys. Now, Ys obviously it's a Vita game, but they were very clever and very smart with their art style to make it work and look good, and how they zone off stuff, but
well, Nier was also post-apocalyptic, right?
Super post-apocalyptic.
And you're not generally a fan of post-apocalypse settings,
in
right?
film, not in gaming.
Yeah, well, yeah.
It may be in gaming, but the thing is, like, so, like, again, like, and I don't want to be too down on Nier. There are some areas I really do like in Nier.
Yeah. But
generally speaking, like, it's kind of a drab-looking game by design, by intention, but there are just things about it where it's like, I'm okay running across the environments in Ys 8 versus Nier. And then Nier does a thing where you have to play the exact same story, but from a different character's perspective. Maybe not the whole game. But,
okay.
But a significant chunk might have to be done, by a different character.
So it's the same moment, just different perspective.
Exactly.
Okay.
So that's that to me is like, I get why they did that, and it definitely helps flesh the story for that game out. And yes, Nier has a much better story than Ys 8. I'm just happy that Ys 8 has a intriguing story that isn't up its own asshole, like most JRPGs.
Or David Cage. My number 4, PUBG.
This is going to be a caveat, though, or a caveat, however how you say. We're talking strictly PC here, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, not Xbone. Not Xbone. It was gonna have to be on my top 5 because I've put like 160 plus hours into it, which.
So this just comes down to the fact that it's just fun to fucking play, right?
I have a good time playing it, and I have friends that play it. I mean, I don't really give a shit about playing it solo, which is actually the most popular way to play it.
Yeah.
But I think, judging by all the people that stream it, but I put a ton of time into it. I know a lot of people are like, well, then why don't you play Fortnite? It's a better PUBG. I tried Fortnite. I don't agree.
I heard it's different. I heard it's not really the same. Like, it isn't the same. Like,
it's the same concept. It's the same battle royale, but it's got a lot of like crafting building.
Because right? That was how years and years ago. I remember this is how they presented Fortnite.
Yeah,
at a Comic-Con panel.
Yeah, you can do shit like where you can. So somebody's over that obstacle, and you have the stuff to build platforms and shit. You can just build platforms to get over them, or continuously build a wall in front of you and the enemy so that he can't shoot you. It's too gimmicky for what I wanted. I basically wanted gunplay and just the general rush of being against a fuckload of people. Mm-hmm. That's all PUBG is. It's just gunplay and that, can funny, silly shit happen? Absolutely, and it happens all the time. And I agree, it's boiled down. There's nothing, like, I'm never going to be like, oh, it's really fucking impressive. It's not, it's impressive for...
Fortnite looks better.
Fortnite, no, PUBG, when it's on its, like, high settings and stuff, looks fine. It's just, it's photorealistic. Yeah. And anything that's stylized is going to look better than photorealism after a very short period of time. Yeah. Photorealism never ages well. Yeah. So, I get that. And PUBG is simplified. I don't think it's made to look fucking beautiful. I think it's made to have a massive map, as big a map as possible, and run smoothly with 100 people playing in the same world at the same time.
What's funny about, and I know it's really not the same game at all, but to me, it's kind of like it's the full realization. Do you remember MAG, Massive Action Game for PS3?
Oh, yeah.
I know MAG wasn't the same type of gameplay necessarily, but the core idea of having this giant ass map and having a deathmatch on a giant ass map, battle royale than deathmatch, feels like they took the appeal of that concept and made it work in PUBG, where MAG just floundered and died.
I would, you know what I'd like to see happen in a PUBG? I've never seen it in person. I think the most amount of people I've ever seen in one area, because of how big the map is in the beginning, is maybe 20 people, like, drop into the same area, and so there's this big, crazy, fucking 5-way fight that happens.
Now, PUBG is, to me, probably one of the fastest growing games I've ever seen, because...
Yeah, it's got how many fucking millions?
At the time it was about to hit Xbox, they had reached 20 million sales on PC.
Fuck.
20 million. And
that's pretty insane.
Most of that was in just the last few months.
Yeah.
Probably one of the most nuttiest, fastest growing games from a new IP, technically. Although I guess it's been around on Steam for a while. But
isn't it an Arma 3 mod?
I don't even know, actually.
I think it's an Arma 3 mod.
But, which one of the fastest growing things. But I'd say the biggest problem with PUBG is just because it's so popular and they have 20 fucking million owners of the game, is that obviously it's going to bring in a lot of children and toxicity to it. So it's like, it's not really the game's fault. It's just like the worst thing about the game is the shitheads that are playing it.
Yeah, that was the worst thing about Call of Duty for the longest time.
Absolutely.
So, I mean, the thing about it is that I play with, like, Discord open.
And the only reason that can be a problem, though, and you maybe agree with this, is that because it brings so many shitty people to wanting to play, then that can affect the gameplay, because you could get stuck in a map with people who are cheating or
doing shitty stuff,
just doing shitty things, or just trying to ruin it for everyone else.
I think especially because I don't listen to, I turned off voice chat in the game. God,
yeah, of course.
And you get the general, like, fucking bullshit racist piece of shit that's, like, running around in circles yelling racist bullshit. And that's the very first game I went into. It was just a guy running around in the center yelling racist shit. And so I immediately went into settings and turned off voice chat, and then I only talk to people in Discord.
And the game improves significantly.
And the game improves wonderfully. every shitty thing someone does, minus like actual cheating, like, you know, aimbot or something like that, like, because you'll have what they call teaming and shit, where like several squads will team up to try and be the last squads or shit like that. The Chinese are really famous for doing it. They'll all jump in red shirts, and then there'll be like 25 Chinese dudes going in the swarming and hunting people. The thing about it is when you run into that shit, there is something you can do about it. You can ruin their whole fucking day. Like, there's that famous video of that one guy who he figures out what they're doing, and he just happens to be wearing the right shirt. And so he goes along with the Chinese until they all get into one room because they're waiting to swarm, and he just walks in with an M240 and just mows everybody down as they flip out.
So they have saws in the game.
Yep.
Okay.
You have to get it out of a box, but not a loot box, but a drop.
Well, I heard they added loot boxes to the game.
They added like cosmetic, like you can get it, so you can get any outfit in the game. You can drop naked and get your clothes in the game, but you can also have starting outfit if you don't want to like worry about grabbing clothes, and that is what's in the loot boxes, and that's it. So outfits.
Well, that sucks.
It sucks, but like I wear a gray t-shirt and the first pants, and I've never...
in the game, it's not like Overwatch. The game is so ugly that it really almost doesn't matter. You know.
Yeah, I mean, Dan had like 14,000 points built up, and he had forgotten that. And so, like, one day we started, and he just was buying shitloads of boxes with it because it's the only way to get it, unless they're doing for charity.
Yeah.
They do like charity drives or shit like that where you can pay for like specialty boxes, but.
So it's like kind of like the bits where people watch ads for bits on Twitch. Like, you just forgot he had so many built up.
Yep. And so he bought a shitload of crates, but I don't know. It doesn't bother me at all because it doesn't matter.
I think it's still a problem, but it helps when the game is not an art, you know, not going for any sort of artistic merit. So, like, it really doesn't matter if you're dropping in naked or not.
And your clothes don't benefit you at all. Or
right,
yeah. It's
exactly.
like, whatever.
Although, okay, did you see the interesting controversy someone pointed out? I saw a video on it, which I don't think it's a controversy. I just think they should be equal, where they redid some of the character models, and you can totally see camel toe on the chicks now. And I'm like, okay, sure. And like this is upsetting, blah, blah, blah. Some feminist person on a... I don't know. It wasn't Feminist Frequency. It was...
They were just mad about the
It was
camel
some
toe?
other feminist thing. I saw like a Vine or a tweet about it, and I'm like, okay, now give the guys moose knuckle.
Just...
That's the way I look at it. I'm like, they don't
Too
even...
tight pants.
I'm like, it doesn't even have to be big moose knuckle. I'm not saying like empower the guys, make them have big giant dicks. I'm just saying like make them have weird, embarrassing moose knuckle.
Yeah, but like, how weird is it that they thought to put in camel toe?
Yeah, and after the fact, like after patch about it.
Why would they do that?
I don't
Who gives
know.
a shit? You never even look at the front of your like
exactly. So again, it's very much one of those like, why are they doing that? Maybe just some developer just thought it'd be funny.
He was just fucking bored.
Because I believe the game is made in South Korea. So to me, I'm like, okay, that's fine. Now give guys like some really embarrassing moose knuckle bulge, you know?
Yeah.
Or, like, you know,
all right. Although now that you say that it's made in South Korea, that makes sense for the hairstyles they have in the game. Some of the hairstyles in the game, I'm like, who the fuck designed this? Like, you're supposed to be like a Russian soldier.
I think that the lead or the director or the design guy was American.
Yeah.
Or something, and he moved over there
to develop it.
Yeah, because basically, like, some upstart was like, yeah, well, let's do it, and now they're making a bunch of money. Apparently, Microsoft wanted to buy them outright, and I think a bunch of the Chinese MMO companies wanted to buy them outright, and they've refused to be bought, I guess. They've staved off it. Now, good for them, but South Korea is interesting to me. Like, there's some funny fucking shit. Speaking of hairstyles and stuff, apparently at the demilitarized zone, they just blare K-pop all day over at North Korea.
I don't know if that's awesome or terrible. That's fucked up. That's why people start defecting.
I mean, not to be too political, but I just found that really funny because, you know, how North Korea has like a strict, you know, no anything, like,
yeah.
And so they're just blaring K-pop over the border. Like, I'm like, I don't know. Yeah, like, I
watched this
just hilarious to me.
I watched this really interesting documentary, like, video about how a shitload, because they get so much aid, worldwide aid, there's a bunch of like North Korean citizens that are wearing shirts with the American flag on it that had no idea that it's the American flag.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, and so they would get in trouble and be like, hey, you can't fucking wear that. And like the government would actually arrest these people and be like, why the fuck are you wearing that? And they'd be like, what? It's just a red and blue shirt.
Yeah.
It's like, oh fuck, your country it's in trouble. But yeah, PUBG got too many hours into it for it to not be in there, and I really enjoy it. So
the thing is, you said you put 160 hours and you've enjoyed all of it. So
yeah, I dig it.
And again, officially released in December this year, so we can say it's not a beta, it's not an early access.
Yeah, and I want to say it was early access anyway this year too, but I don't know for sure. But it is officially released.
It officially was 1.0.
December 21st.
December 21st or 17th, something crazy like that. Yeah. So it's out. So number 4 for me is Sonic Mania. It is very hard to find a fucking flaw with this game. I think it is.
Other than the fact that it's a Sonic game.
I mean, well, the thing is, but it's a Genesis Saturn era style Sonic game.
So you love it.
I love it. I've never seen such a stronger contrast of a fucking fan outclassing the
development team,
world-renowned development team, so hard. Like,
is it seriously just one guy that made this stuff?
No, it was him. It was a very, very small team. It was Christian Whitehead, Pagoda West Games, and there's an headcanon. So I mean, it basically was him, and then he had like a 2 or 3 person develop. I think headcanon was like 2 or 3 programmers, and then Pagoda West was some extra help, programming, coding, arting, whatever. Like we're talking like, I think the team was like sub 20.
Wow.
Maybe in the low 10s for the majority of the people who did the game.
Almost as many people as Ukulele.
Yeah.
Like when you put Ukulele in that kind of perspective, by the way, like, well, yeah, they had as many people as Sonic Mania had.
Yeah.
A Genesis era style game. Oh, shit. Yeah, Ukulele didn't have a lot of money to it, bro.
No, it didn't. It really didn't. This game actually had the backing and blessing of Sega, though, so there wasn't any sort of like, we had to like beg for money on Kickstarter or anything. Christian Whitehead's story of rise to power is interesting in and of itself, but I've said this for a while. Like, Sonic team's been out of fucking touch forever. At least with Sonic. Like, I feel like Phantasy Star Online was an amazing, amazing game. One of the best games of all time, and that was made post Saturn Dream, or in the Dreamcast era. Like, and I think it was very flawed, but still had merit. Like with the Knight's Journey of Dreams on Wii, but they, for the most part, cannot get Sonic right. They've done fuck all with this character that's been of high quality since 1994. Like Sonic and Knuckles was the last time Sonic was really, really good. And like it's an age old.
Leave it to the crazy ginger to kill the series.
Knuckles, you mean?
Yeah, Knuckles. Oh,
well,
ginger.
Yeah, but I mean, like, okay, Sonic and Knuckles is a good game though, and then obviously now I have like a fucking
yeah, you have the giant sign,
cutout, sign die-cast thing, a plexiglass thing behind me now in my streams. But yeah, like Sonic Colors and Generations are good, but they're not great. They don't have the tight controls, the responsiveness, the level design that Sonic Mania does. Sonic Mania has extremely good level design. It has levels that are multi-layered, that have multiple paths through them, that constantly throw new things and ideas at you, that don't stop the game or get in the way. Like the only like difference between the Genesis era and Sonic Mania level design is that Sonic Mania actually embraced the more roller coaster aspect of it. Like in Sonic 3 and Knuckles, for example, like there'll be moments where you'll have like a really roller coastery part of like, going through a series of loops or corkscrews or whatever.
Yeah.
And it'll be like 1 or twice a level, and there'll be like 4 or 5 per level in Sonic Mania. They more embraced it, but again, the levels are still big, so there's still plenty of platforming to do in them. There's still plenty of secrets to explore, things to do. Like there's almost nothing wrong with Sonic Mania. The most that's wrong with Sonic Mania is that the last zone is kind of a letdown, I feel. Like it's not bad and it's not frustrating. It's better than say Metropolis Zone. But the only real problem with like the last zone and For some reason, the name's escaping me, but because it has a weird name, where like you're going in and around this giant Robotnik statue. It's not very fun to play as much like as the other zones in the game. Like it's almost kind of one of those things where it's like you play the game up until the last level and then you just quit because the last level is not that fun.
But that
it is the last level, right?
Yeah, that doesn't diminish how good the game is, really, if the last level's the only bad level.
And it's not it's not frustrating to play. It's just kind of boring.
Okay. Well, I mean,
like
that's kind of a sad finisher for an otherwise great game.
But I mean, it's the last level. It's not meant to be this breezy, zoom through it kind of thing.
I've only ever liked the music, and I don't like the gameplay in Sonic. I've never really liked the gameplay in Sonic. So it's
fair enough.
I'm a hard sell on Sonic anyway, gameplay wise. I mean, I want to say I played all the way up to Sonic and Knuckles, because we owned a Genesis, was like the first system that like was mine. We had an NES, and then I think we went to Genesis, and then I don't think we came back to Nintendo until N64.
Right.
Because we didn't have a Super NES. So, I mean, I feel like we own...
Sorry, Titanic Monarch.
Titanic Monarch.
Titanic Monarch Zone is just...
Fuck that thing.
It's not terrible. It's just not as good as the other zones. I'm not like huge on Metallic Madness either, but I feel it's better done. But yeah, so I don't blame you for not being a Sonic fan necessarily. And again, like when after Genesis, he was kind of gone until Dreamcast, more or less.
And I mean, I
by
really like the music of Sonic, so I feel bad being down on the game because
and the guy T. Lopez. Who did it again? Fan remixer, ended up doing the audio for a major Sonic title.
Wow.
He knocked it out of the park. You don't notice unless you're listening with a good pair of headphones. If you do that, you can see how much richer it is, because you listen to it on basic speakers and you're just like, oh, this sounds really good. It sounds like Genesis. You listen to it like really good speakers
on like studio headphones and shit.
And you're like, oh, okay, yeah, he was really he had a lot of stuff going on. This is really, really good. Every way, like the game is like, and the people who make the game, it's just like, okay, so you had Christian Whitehead, who started as he made fan games and little fan projects. That's where he started, just making like his own little fan Sonic games, and
which is impressive in and of itself.
Yeah, and I think T. Lopez started, as a remixer as well, like of other game music. And then the intro and endings are animated, but they're animated by the guy who did the comic called Boxer Hockey, Tyler, I forget his name, Henson. So he got famous because he drew this like 6 to 10 page comic strip of a parody of Sonic the Hedgehog. Fucking hilarious, like just kind of generally making fun of the dumb shit in Sonic and stuff, and he created Nipples the Enchilada. Like, so the guy who invented Nipples the Enchilada ended up working on a Sonic game.
Yeah, that's amazing.
He went from that to working on the Sonic comics for Archie, and then ended up working on the animated intros. Him and I believe his wife or girlfriend, and some others, doing the trailers and animated intro for Sonic Mania.
That's fucking awesome.
So it's all a bunch of a collection. It's entirely a collection of just fans coming in from all different walks of life and parts of the world, because Christian Whitehead lives in like Australia. And they're just out fucking classing the hell out of Sonic Team. Sonic Team is just like this sort of like clueless, mindless, like shovelware factory now that just pumps out just complete fucking dog shit.
It's interesting though,
even with presentation value and money pumped into it, with like they can get full orchestras and they can have all these long animated cutscenes for their games, but their games just fucking suck. There's a guy who did a not a speed run, but just a run without dying, because it's actually kind of hard to die, except at certain parts where the controls are shitty, of Sonic Forces. There is 15 minutes of gameplay of Sonic Forces.
Damn.
He just said, look, I'm going to play the game. I'm not going to speedrun it, but I'm not going to let myself die or do things like I know what I'm doing. Like a complete run through the game, knowing where you're going, but not speedrunning. It's for 15 fucking minutes of gameplay in Sonic Forces.
It's interesting that you say that like they're getting outclassed by these guys that are all over the world. The internet makes it possible for guys like Christian Whitehead to work with other people around the world that are really good at what they do. And here you have this team that should otherwise be able to recruit whoever they want to work there.
Yeah.
But they're only recruiting from Japan, I take it.
And then the stories I've heard is that, like, basically shitty, like, really insular, shitty working conditions. People, they have, like, no idea about really the rest. They're like a factory. They just go in and churn out Sonic.
Oh, shit.
Like, apparently it's just shitty.
Well, that's super upsetting.
But to me,
That's
it's
a
kind of like,
down note.
we have a group of people who obviously understand the core mechanics and the core gameplay and the appeal of classic Sonic the Hedgehog. You can go home, Sonic Team. You're drunk.
You can go home.
But it's top 5. It's at number 4 because I've waited since 1994 for a Sonic game this good. That it is more than just, oh yeah, remember Green Hill, and there is the whole remember Green Hill because there's Green Hill in the game, but it's taken so long, and it might just be the best Sonic the Hedgehog game. Like, no shit. Like, all things considered, like all the zones and all the options and all the things you can unlock and things you can do in the game. Yeah, it's probably the best Sonic the Hedgehog game. Probably is the best.
That's that's pretty baller considering how many there are. How many Sonic games are there mainline?
Oh god, probably like close to 30 or so.
Fuck. That's a ton. My number 3, and I can feel a few of you listening just in your hearts loving this. Yakuza 0. I loved Yakuza 0.
I didn't play this, so this is one I want to play.
You need to play it, especially because I'm going to play Kiwami sometime this year. I know I'm going to. But Yakuza 0 is, and this is the reason I think you'll love it, it has so fucking much in it. Like the side games, like the mini games and stuff that you have to do to build up money or build up whatever.
Yeah.
There's just so much there. It's very rich. And then also, playing just the regular game, the story of the game is like over the top dramatic, but in the most fun way.
Like, is it like aware that it's batshit crazy?
I don't think it's that it's aware that it's batshit crazy. I think that it isn't. It's unapologetic, and so it's very serious. Like it's a serious game, but it has some stuff where they nudge, like, yeah, we know you're playing this for fucking fun, and there's some anime moments. Like they take some of the best parts of anime. You know, like some of the best over-the-top things about anime, and then they put it in there. And there's some anime stereotypes in there. Yeah. But then they'll do twists on it where it's like, oh, you've got to be a TV producer, and so you take this like gruff, this stereotypical gruff, main character, and put him in a fucking yellow sweater or a pink shirt with a yellow sweater over his shoulders, and he has to pretend to be a producer, and he's really good at being a producer because he's a gruff yakuza. So there's shit like that, and I mean, this is why I was like, Majima needs to be a guest character in some fighting game, because he's the sickest motherfucker. I actually don't like Majima with like the snakeskin shit. I like him how he is in Zero a lot. But yeah, no, you definitely need to play it. It's a lot of fun. It sold me on an entire series. Granted, I'm taking massive amount of time between playing these games, just because... the gameplay, if I had a criticism of it, is the gameplay, like the fighting and all that stuff, very repetitive. But then when you find out how fast they pump these out and what kind of budget these games have, these games are amazing. Yeah. And somebody told me once how much it was, and I'm not going to pretend to try and like say it off the top of my head, but yeah, I remember it being low. But it's pretty amazing. It very much is like a very well thought out, simplistic GTA. Yeah. It's open world, but it's a very small area that you're in. But that small area feels pretty varied. It feels good. Yeah. So I really liked that. I also liked it because it was... I don't know how accurate it is, obviously, but like it seemed like it had a pretty accurate look at Japanese culture of the 80s. Yeah. Like it had like a pretty good snapshot of Japanese culture, especially pop culture of the 80s. So, which
is the intriguing part for me, because to see like how another country was handling all the nuttiness of the 80s.
Yeah, and I mean it's it's interesting to see how they decide to criticize certain things about the 80s and how they'll make fun of their own pop culture of the 80s. And it's like, I love watching countries dissect their own weird baddie bullshit because it humanizes the culture, right? Like, instead of putting it up on a pedestal, which I'm sure a lot of people do for Japanese culture, just like a lot of people do for American culture. But it's really interesting to see them kind of like pick their own culture apart for that. And it's just like, oh, fuck, it's charming, it's endearing. And overall, I mean, like, the gameplay, like, you kick the shit out of people.
Yeah.
It's great.
Yeah, I've seen some clips where,
and
like,
it's colorful
people
as fuck.
Fucked up.
Oh, and the music is great.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good.
So, yeah, you'll...
It's funny because I think a lot of the people who worked on this is a lot of the Monkey Ball team.
Yeah, and it's not a big team, though, right?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, no, I mean, like...
But, like, you know, Super Monkey Ball to Yakuza.
Yeah, well, I mean, they've pumped out a lot of Yakuza. Aren't they on, like, 6?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then now they're redoing...
Yeah, and they've remade at least two of them.
Yeah, so 0 was a new game, but it caused Kiwami, which is a remake of 1.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're remaking another
So
one.
there was Yakuza 1 and 2, and then there was 1 and 2 HD, and then there's Kiwami, and there's going to be Kiwami 2.
Wow.
So 1 and 2 have been remade twice, I think.
Damn.
Sort of. Well, one's an up-res, and one's, like, a new game.
I don't know why everybody loves Kiryu, by the way. It's all about Majima. Majima's way cooler.
This is generally what I hear about from people who like Yakuza. It's always kind of like, yeah, everyone likes the more edgy secondary character. No, like the main character's, he's cool, but
The main character, he's like cut and dry, like, I'm a badass all the time and I do what's right. Majima's just fucking nuts. And you get to, in 0, you get to see him turn into that psychotic character that he is in the rest of the series. So, like, he starts out as, like, this normal, totally in control guy, and by the end of it, he's this fucking over-the-top, you know, in-your-face being psychotic that he is in the rest of the series, apparently. And I really liked that. I thought that was really cool. He looks cooler in this one, though.
yeah, I actually really want to get to playing it, like now.
Do it. I don't have a physical copy, otherwise I would loan it to you, but...
Fuck.
Yeah. Oh, it's great. I mean, it's worth the money, though. Like,
Yeah.
you're going to get quite a few hours out of it. So,
It's good to know.
you'll enjoy it. My next 2, we've already kind of talked about, but go with yours.
For number 3?
Yeah, what's your number 3?
My number 3 is Xenoblade 2.
Oh, I kind of thought that would be higher.
Well, there are issues with the game. I can't ignore them.
Well, you hate the character designs, right?
Yeah, I don't consider that critically part of the game, though. That has nothing to do with it. It's just like there's some quality of life things that could have been better, some menu design interface shit.
Oh, okay.
They already have started patching some of those improvements in, though. So it's kind of like, okay, it's there are very minor issues. A lot of people hate the not the map, but the tracking, like the guiding system. I never had a problem with it, but I generally don't have problems navigating 3D video games. Like, there's a lot of times you'll watch people who, like, they'll be like, okay, go over to this spot, and then they're like, wait, what? Where is that? I'm like, dude, it's right in fucking front of you.
Oh, yeah.
Like, shit like that.
I get lost all the goddamn time.
So if I hear about, if they say, hey, you need to go to this spot, I'll generally know where that is. And if not, I can kind of figure it out, like look at the map and figure it out. The map was kind of a big problem. They fixed it already with a patch.
Okay.
But yeah, other than that, because I haven't actually done an actual like official video review for Xenoblade 2, but Xenoblade 2 is almost as everything I want it to be. The only tiny like personal disappointment is that there's more Titans than I thought, because Titans are the land masses. There's more land masses than I thought there were going to be. They're just not as big as I'd hoped some of them would be. There's a couple that are really big. Like, there's one in particular that's huge, but it's like it's a snowy place, so I'm like, fuck. I wish like I wish like the foresty place was the big one, but and it's big enough, but.
So isn't it in that game that, like, the Titans, they're living beings that you're running around on, right?
Yes.
Continents are living beings that laid down or some shit? And...
No, they're alive.
Oh. Huh. Well, that's kind of cool. I don't know how, because it's Switch only, right?
Yes.
So isn't that the reason why they're probably small? Because, I mean, how much...
Well, not necessarily, because Xenoblade X had one the amount of space was more on Xenoblade X than the entire game of Xenoblade 2, and it was on less powerful hardware.
That's fair.
It's more for like kind of like, The thing is, though, there's an advantage to having them be smaller, but so many, because you get really fucking crazy, odd things. Because one of the Titans, or it's not one, but a series of these giant like jellyfish, and there's all these little foresty ponds on top of them, and you go from top to top of these giant Titan jellyfish.
Shit.
And you go from their tendrils, and there's a mountain of clouds that you go through, and when you go through it, there's all these animals swimming around you like SeaWorld, like in like the tubes and shit. So it leads to all this weird imaginative shit in the game.
I always get this confused. So Xenoblade is a different universe than Xenogear?
Spoilers.
And Xenosaga is a different...
Spoilers.
Cool. I'm glad we're there. Okay.
Spoilers. I do want to address this, but I will warn people about spoilers for the at least for the Xenoblade 2 part. There's something I do want to talk about, but yeah, I will get to that. But generally speaking, yes, they're separate universes.
Okay.
Generally speaking, but anyways, imaginative, super imaginative world. Now the thing is, why do I like Xenoblade 2 so much overall is the battle system is the best it's ever been. At first I was real concerned that it was going to be either too simplified, or I really didn't like the fact that once you started attacking, your character stood in place rather than run and swing. Because in Xenoblade and Xenoblade X, you could run around and swing. So I thought the idea of them like forcing your character to stop when they attacked was going to ruin this battle system, and it actually didn't. The interface is better. The hotkeying is better. The battle system is actually it's easier to grasp. It's easier to come to grips with how to do it, like how to maximize the potential of it. And my God, there's a thing, you get it really late in the game, but holy fuck, like when you understand like how to properly, what you're really supposed to be doing in the battle system, to set up these massive combos, you create these elemental orbs by doing elemental based attacks, and then you break the orbs around them in like this big chain attack thing, which is a little risk reward. And then you can go from like, oh, okay, I'm kind of chipping away this boss. All of a sudden, you'll do this chain attack combo and you'll do 60 million damage on it. And you'll fuck this thing over completely.
Shit.
And you're like, and you feel like, oh my God, because it's like this big long drawn out thing where you're actively doing button presses and timing things to make this combo work and maximize it. So it's not just like, you're not just pressing menus.
It's really involved.
It's involved, and there's a lot of timing to it as well. And like when you pull it off and you blow the fuck out of this person, you see like maximum chain damage, and like it just blares like 60 million, all cool pose style across the screen. It's like, so it's got the best battle system of any Xeno game. It's got the best soundtrack of any Xeno game. They knocked it out of the fucking park with this. We kind of knew it was going in. Like really the only like kind of slight issue is that there's not a great one. I just don't have the full soundtrack available to me yet, and I don't necessarily agree with the placement of some of the songs. Like the songs are really good, but I would have put them somewhere else in some of the cutscenes. So it's not necessarily that it's bad, just like maybe put it. I don't know if I would have used that here, but whatever. But as far as the soundtrack, I was like, the Mitsuda does some really interesting things where he went and got like this Irish choir or this Irish Celtic band, and he had them do like town music. Like I was expecting them to do like some significant event cutscene music, and they do town music, and like he put it in, and it really kind of helps set the mood for some of the towns that are like, wow, you know, this I didn't know if this was necessarily gonna work, but it fucking does work. The production value of the soundtrack in general is so fucking high in this game that it trust me, there's a difference between using really high grade samples versus I went and recorded with this orchestra, this Philharmonic orchestra. Like there is a definite difference between the two.
Was it like Gaelic? They were singing in Gaelic or something, or
so. No, I think it's English, because like sometimes hearing, like I can sometimes understand the words they're saying. Sometimes, because they've got 4 things, so they do a day and night for 2 different towns. Because there's choir, and then there's like this Anuna Irish band, like Irish Gaelic singing choir. Like they're not. It's not like 100 people. It's like however many it is, like 6. I think, or something.
Huh.
I don't know. They did it actually had a music video for it. They posted online.
Well, there's that Metal Gear Solid or Metal Gear song that's in Gaelic.
Yeah. Best is yet to come.
Yeah, they did it in Gaelic for one of them or something like that, or parts of it in Gaelic.
So Shadows of the Lowlands is one of them. I believe it's English. And then there's an area called Indolium, which I hope in one of the patches they let you go back to, because there's a point in the spoilers. You get a point in the game where like you can't go back to one of the areas for just generic story purposes. But that had like this, this like church sounding, you felt like you walked into like fucking like Saint,
into a cathedral,
like St. Peter's Cathedral, like music, because it's the religious area. Like the Vatican City of the game.
That's pretty badass.
And it's like, wow, like this actually, like you would think after a while, oh, that wouldn't sound too good. But then like, you go to other towns and it's just like, it's all these like Celtic instruments, going. And then there's one town, like the hometown of the main character, where like it's very, it's extremely Lord of the Ringsy sounding, like Hobbiton sounding. And then all of a sudden you hear like this men's choir in the background kind of humming, kind of like reverberating, adding to it a bit,
like a Gregorian chant.
Yes.
That's badass.
But it's only in the daytime. At nighttime, it's different. And so you're like, God damn it! I want every game to have this kind of music production value. Fuck you, Zelda. Like,
I mean, that's the one thing that I'm kind of like, I wish they would have taken the music from Monolith Soft.
Yeah, like you have them do the. But the thing about the games, all the Xeno games, is that I always kind of trash their stories. And again, this is the spoilery territory here, but the character designs are what they are. I find the humor in it now, where you're walking around and if like I'll like dip the camera really low and like you'll see that the chick's ass is hanging out and like shaking as they're running. So you're just like, God, it's so blatant. Why? Like,
isn't she supposed to be a kid?
No.
Oh, okay.
And then like I've gotten some of the other rare blades by other artists.
Yeah.
Who went super nuts. They don't look like kids, but they look like hoes, and their butts are just all out, and their tits are bouncing everywhere.
Hoes for show.
And it's like, oh my God, this is anime. So, but there are some cool character designs, and sometimes I'll just switch my party to controlling only the cool looking characters for a while, just because, okay, I'm done looking at the dumb, stupid anime titties. I can bring the cool crowd in.
You're done with it? I'm done with anime titties, bro.
I'm done with anime titties for a little while. I'll get back to it.
Yeah.
It's kind of like after you nut and you're like not really into it for a while.
I'm good.
No, but anyway, so yeah,
now.
I'm always kind of like shitting on their stories, and I do think they're overly pretentious, and I have to tip my hat to Xenoblade 2 and its end game. And how the motherfucker, while at one point avoiding copyright, but at the same time connecting his entire fucking body of life's work into one single like metaverse. I'm like, okay, hats off to you, buddy, for fucking doing this. He fucking
did it.
For fucking doing this. Like, because they are separate universes, but it goes into the whole multiverse idea. And it does it without being too wink, wink, nod, nod. I'm like, okay, you connected all. You not only like you blatantly connected all the like at least two of the Xenoblade games, which means you fucking lied at E3. But two, you actually kind of connected all the Xenoverses together. In a way,
pulled it off.
I'm like, and you did it like actually not bad. Like you actually did it kind of smartly and in a way that's cool, but not like wink, wink, nod, nod. And I'm like, okay, I've given Takahashi plenty of shit, and I still think he's a terrible writer. I still think his pacing and the way he just puts way too much in and doesn't have a really good. He needs an editor. He needs an editor like. More than anything in the world,
Like he needs a good editor.
He needs a good editor, like an NBA star, gets thirsty.
Writing for video games is so hard, though.
Yeah, and he's really not good at it.
Yeah, I feel like if in terms of trying to write a good story, writing for video games is absolutely the hardest thing to write, or medium to write, I guess, because just to have a simple linear story, think about how much shit you have to connect and how many hours of stuff you have to write to fill the world to make it feel...
And the thing is, he likes writing because he writes, apparently according to his staff, like he writes novels worth of shit for every game.
Jesus.
Like just story.
I mean, I guess, yeah, like you have to. You have to.
So he loves it, but I mean, yeah, I tip my hat because when I realized that I was like, when they showed something that was a direct reference or a direct like HD version of a cutscene that happened in Xenoblade 1, I was like, what the fuck is going on? Like,
why?
And then like when they connected it, and I'm like, that's rad. Or like to borrow from like Yakuza's era, where like there's like a moment where like he sees something and like it zooms in, like speed lines on his face, like, that's rad.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that was kind of my moment with that. So I'm like, okay, you know what? You fucking did something that was actually really cool. And then like, if you look even deeper into some of the things and some of the lines, you're like, wait a minute, this has implications of it connecting Xenogears and Saga to all the other Blades. I'm like, the games. I'm like, damn. And then I noticed that Square's CEO and Namco CEO were obviously because Cosmos is in the game, but like they were both credited, but it was just like the people who run the company. So I'm like, why was Square just credited oddly? Oh, because there might, just in case they wanted to claim any copyright with Gears. Like, because I don't think there's anything in the game that directly copies or would infringe on the IP of Xenogears, but there's definitely like there's a moment where a character says something about like this is gonna go to a universe we can never go to, kind of thing. And you're like, oh, you mean Gears and Saga? So like the only reason it's not number 1 or 2 is just because there are some small design issues that nag at it. Xenoblade 2 is better than Xenoblade X. I might tip my hat to 1 being the better. 1 had, I think, the best overall world to run around in. Okay. And the story was better and better told, for at least for the first 2/3 of Xenoblade 1. Xenoblade 2 is like a little bit opposite. It's intriguing enough, but it's like, it's really, I feel the ending is like when it's strongest.
The whole series just seems so fucking overwhelming to me. I feel like I'm never gonna get into it because I didn't get into it when it started.
The thing is, you can honestly play Blade and X and Blade 2 and not know anything about the other games, and really you don't need to. It is
because they're separate. They
are separate, but like it's like the way. Because again, the way he ends up connecting all his games, that was really smart, and it really didn't impact anyone, like the story for any of the games individually. Like, it doesn't change anything. It's just like, oh, if you know that, that's a really cool thing to know. Like, when someone says something about this, like, oh, okay, yeah, I remember that from another game. Interesting. It doesn't add or take away from, like, Xenoblade 2's story doesn't add or take away from the first game, and knowing or not knowing it will not add or take away anything to it alone. But I gotta tip my hat and say I'm impressed.
Pulled off some shit.
That you pulled off something with a little bit of, I guess, subtlety. But no, like there are a couple things that I just nagging that I'm like, okay, I can't say it's the best game that came out this year because there are a few design issues that could have and should have been ironed out. But okay, it's top 3 for sure for me. And I played it for 70 hours before I got to the credits. I never once was bored. I never once felt the game was too long in the tooth, which every Xeno game I felt before. I enjoyed every moment of those 70 hours, and I've gone back after I beat the game, and I want to play more of it. I do want to play more. I would love to jump back into the game, if nothing else, just to listen to it and play more of it, which I can't say for probably your number 3.
For my number 3?
Yeah. Unless
Yakuza?
Unless it's your number 2.
Oh, Yakuza was my number 3.
Right. Okay.
My number 2 is Breath of the Wild.
Right.
Yeah. So you're right. And I feel like a lot of people thought I was a very harsh critic of Breath of the Wild because of my dislike of the weapon durability and the music. Yeah. But overall, like, I really loved it.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like when I criticize the game, it's not because I think the game's a piece of shit. It's because I feel like, God, you're like right there on the edge of creating like one of the best games ever made. if you could fix a few things.
Yeah, I'm really kind of I'm honestly, you know what, the weapon durability and the music isn't my biggest problem with the game. My actual
Nor is it mine.
Yeah, my biggest problem with the game is the overall over the top anime characters.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, where it just screams anime. You know, the Mifa that's just falling all over herself, like, oh, I'm dead, but I'm just so glad I could help you one last time. Like, fuck, girl, you are dead. You're dead. This dude is gonna give you nothing. Why? What the fuck is that? It's just so tropey, and I don't know. And to be fair, like, all media has its tropes.
Right.
I just don't jive with anime tropes that well.
Right.
So I'm not gonna like shit on a person for those tropes being their cup of tea. It's just not my cup of tea.
Yeah.
But if you
Xenoblade would be a hard game for you.
Yeah, I just anime trope. It's not for me. That being said, like if you ignore the story of Breath of the Wild, like which is basically what I ended up doing, I just ignored it. I love that shit.
I actually completely agree with you.
Yeah, no, it's fantastic.
If you want to sit there and say like, "Oh, well, I loved it," I loved learning about this shit, or like, I loved seeing the Ballad of the Four. Fuck the champions. Their shit sucked. Like they were written terribly. They were voice acted terribly. Like
yeah, there was, and the only cool champion was Urbosa. I mean,
she was the only good one.
Yeah, she was a badass champion. The thing about it is like, if you ignore that game,
which is easy to do,
yeah,
because it's so minor,
minimalistic,
to the game.
yeah. The game's fucking fantastic, and
I'll just say, the best part of that game was the moment I was getting off the moment leaving the Great Plateau, and just going to Kakariko, where I was completely fresh to that world below. Like after you get off the plateau, and they tell you to go to Kakariko, so I have that. Like I got that in my head. I got to go that way, but like. That moment of not knowing the world map, not having a world map because of the towers, and just wandering around and getting in fucking random fights with moblins and
oh, I loved it.
I'm like,
yeah,
this was fantastic. I loved this.
No, the moment that I was just kind of like, oh fuck, and it's such a small thing, like it shouldn't be an oh fuck moment. The first time I ever lit a field on fire and killed all the enemies, did it totally by accident. Fucking did it and killed all the enemies, and I was just like, what the fuck? This is fucking amazing. Yeah, like, I think that, and then one time where I had lit the field on fire and I thought I had fucked myself, and so I tried to jump and I did the thing and it shot me up, like totally by accident again. Hadn't seen anything on that. I
absolutely love the world of this game, and I love the I guess not physics, but design of the things, like how they accounted for stuff.
Yeah, no, I mean they did.
It was so good in that respect.
In a lot of ways, I do think it's one of the best made Zelda games because it has all that in there, and it fails. It fails in a lot of ways, like for instance, not having true temples.
That is
it's upsetting.
Honestly, that probably is the reason why the game is really truly number 8 for me on my list instead of say 1, 2, 3. The temples, like the fact that there is no decent reward for exploration in the game. The shrines do not substitute dungeons for me. I want atmospheric themed big dungeons. I want to get new items that help me get new abilities. I want an ability upgrade because there's no ability. You get all the abilities you'll ever use in the game on the plateau. Honestly, I feel like Breath of the Wild is an amazing template. Take that. Take what you
build
know
off
and
of
build,
it for
and
the
you
next
build
one,
off of it. You put those goddamn big dungeons in there. You do that, and then maybe get. I was like, get Yoko. I tweeted about this. Get Yoko Taro
to write for,
or just get Koizumi because he's high up. Just have him come in and say this is going to be your story. You have the best Zelda game, bar none. If you can just do that. Oh, and get a composer for fuck's sake.
I would love to see what a Zelda game written by Yoko Taro.
Well, the thing is, I said if Yoko Taro and Koizumi were collaborating on a Zelda game story, they would need to bundle the game with a bottle of Prozac.
That would be fucking amazing.
Like it would be extremely depressing, like to an unbelievable degree. But I would love to see it.
Oh, and I actually I really liked the art style for Breath of the Wild.
I do too. I think it's real. I actually think it's an excellent.
It's really good.
Like just the general character designs and art. Except I don't know. Apparently, Link is dickless, just like its producer. But I don't know if you saw that official art.
No.
You know, like in my roommate got the art book that this is in. Yeah, there's an art book for Breath of the Wild that just came out in Japan. And people opened it, and someone immediately scanned it, and so they have a picture of Link completely naked, but completely Ken doll.
Huh.
Link, it's true. Link has no dick.
Well,
I mean, I always knew Enuma was projecting himself on the character, but now I have final confirmation.
It's fucked up. So this goes back to why Horizon is a game I never played. It's because I played Zelda.
And Zelda came out like 2 days after.
Yeah, and I had no interest in playing Horizon, and my main reason, like, why I don't think I'll have interest in the future is that I think Zelda is going to age better in looks.
Yeah.
Horizon looked amazing when we were looking at it.
Yeah, because I remember that E3 when Horizon and Zelda were right across from each other, and I was like, God, Horizon looks like mind-blowingly good. Zelda looks, Zelda.
Yeah, but it's stylized, so it's going to look better long term.
And honestly, like I've seen the emulator, because that emulator kicked ass this year. That was kind of like another like underground indie like Cinderella story. That game running at 4K 60 looks amazing.
It really fucking does. Yeah, I want to see that, more of that. I don't have the emulator, but I would fucking. I'll get one.
It's so like they released like a new build on Christmas Day, I believe. So it's, especially if you're not doing 4K, you can run that game very well. Apparently now it's very stable.
I might do that actually. I can do 4K now. So
yeah, well, I don't even have a 4K monitor, so to me, it's a moot point.
Yeah, so I don't have a 4K monitor either.
For me, it's great actually, because then I don't have to worry about
frame dropping.
Yeah, I don't have to worry about juice power or whatever for.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, but yeah, that's my number 2. Breath of the Wild, Batwa, Zelda Batwa.
But it is a good game. In fact, it's kind of a great game. I just don't think critically I can sit there and look at it and say this was the best game that came out this year. I just don't think I can.
Well, I didn't play the game that is the best game that came out this year. I will play it eventually.
Your fault.
Yeah, I
need to get on that.
Okay, but I bought it for Phil for Christmas, and which is why I didn't open it and play it myself.
Oh, good. When he's done.
Yeah, so when he's done, we'll stream it. Because did I tell you I got him a Switch?
Yeah, you did. I think you mentioned that like on the cooking stream.
Yeah, I got him a Switch and Odyssey. And so it was real great because I don't think he was expecting to get anything particularly big after his wedding and shit. And I remember he opened it and he was like, "Oh, you fuck! This is a joke! Oh shit!" And then when he saw the little box over there, he just looked at me and he just like gave me this thumbs up, like yeah, like that Robert Redford gif where it's just like yeah, like that nod of accept. Yeah,
yes.
That is what I got, and so I fucking killed it this year. Anecdote about why I would get something so expensive for him is about, I want to say 7 years ago. 6 years ago, we were doing a Sesame. We were shooting a Sesame, and I wanted to be able to shoot more stuff, but I was getting out of COC, and so basically I wasn't going to have access to all that equipment.
Yeah.
And I was saying that, like, I need a camera to, like, be able to shoot stuff. And my brother went out and bought me the 5D and a lens kit and shit so that we could continue to make stuff. He bought it for me for a Christmas. And granted, that is far more expensive.
Yeah.
And at the time, he could afford it because he had his job, but he wasn't paying rent or anything just for that, like, couple of years or whatever. So it's like the idea of dropping however much on him for this like Christmas gift doesn't bother me at all. I've had a few people be like, "God damn, why would you buy something so expensive for something?" And I was like, you're right, I don't have the money to do that often, but like right now I can kind of afford to do it, so I'm totally gonna fucking do it. So Phil had a hard on all Christmas Day. It was weird for his wife's family, but for me it was satisfying. It's a very satisfying erection for a family member to have.
Yeah.
It's very weird.
Boner that brings everything together. My number 2 is Rhyme.
I knew it was going to be 1 or 2. I know why. I know what your number 1 is, obviously.
Right. But everybody does now. But like,
everybody
Rhyme
does.
is number 2 because I feel Rhyme was almost perfect in its execution, provided you had a powerful enough PC. Let me just put it all there. I'm definitely not talking about the Switch version of this game.
Well, okay, but you love Rhyme because there was a final payoff.
There was.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, you had that. You lost hope for a year.
Yeah, it had, but the game had its own vision, and it had its emotional payoff. Like it stuck to what it wanted to do, and it remained faithful to its core idea. And then they wrapped the game up too. Like you have to have a pretty good rig to run this, and you got to be willing to not have like the best anti-aliasing or the best shadowing, which doesn't matter anyways for a fucking cel-shaded game. Please, people.
I can a little bit.
Yeah, running the game at 1080p at like the highest settings except for shadows and anti-aliasing, and the game runs 60 like completely smooth for me.
Okay.
All the way through, no problems. I have just sat and played the game, doing nothing, just to soak in the game.
Out of curiosity, what is the refresh rate on your monitor?
The one I game on is like redonkulous. It's like 0.01 or something like that.
Well, the milliseconds, but like, what's the hertz? Out of curiosity, do you know?
I don't know. I wish I could tell you. I just know I went in and got it as best as I could.
Oh, okay.
I went and I got like a little monitor that basically said, I want this to be as best refresh and input lag as possible. No frills. There's nothing else on it. It does nothing.
So it's
else.
like 1080p and 144 hertz.
Exactly.
Refresh rate.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because the thing about it is like people get really like a huge hard on for 60 frames a second, but if you don't have a monitor or a TV that has the refresh rate to do it, it doesn't fucking matter.
No, I know
like,
that.
It's just
but like I went in and like my own, like I said, like because where I went to the store, I was like, I need something like this, and I basically like double checked it on a list to make sure I was getting. I think it was 144 hertz and then like a 0.01 millisecond delay. But anyways, no, it sticks to its vision. It's weird because it either was ignored by a lot of people, or I don't know, people just didn't jive with it enough, or I don't think a lot of people beat it. I think a lot of people kind of got pissy about like the cartridge costing more on Switch, or
people got distracted by pointless
other things around the game, rather than like, well, how is the game? Did you actually beat the game? Because that ending is such a fucking punch to the dick.
Yeah, I know about the ending because I think you told me about the ending. But here's my thing. It's mostly exploratory, right? The gameplay.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. Is like the game on its website said explore, solve. I forget what the three things are, but it was like explore something, solve puzzles, basically soak in atmosphere. That's all the game wanted. That's all the game was.
That doesn't appeal to that many people, though.
Yeah, I know. But it's like if you played the games that it wasn't really. I'm like, how could you? I'm sorry. Like this is gonna be a bit of a tangent because I didn't play it that much. I actually ended up just selling it just instead of playing it. But how could you sit there and wax poetic about The Last Guardian, which controlled like complete futter-ucking ass?
Yeah.
And had a camera that constantly got in the fucking way, and an AI creature that didn't always respond the way it was supposed to respond, and say, "Oh, what a great artsy game! I was so moved to tears." But and like you casually brush off Rhyme, which doesn't have the camera problems, which doesn't have the control problems.
Well, you remember we were at that PSX, and we both stood there and watched some of The Last Guardian.
Yeah.
And by the end of watching someone play through The Last Guardian demo, we both shrugged and were like, all right, whatever.
Whatever.
And we walked away, and then like I think we even talked about it on a podcast where we were just kind of like, people aren't going to be happy with that in the long run. And what happened? People weren't happy with it.
A lot of people were divided,
Yeah, it's got this very like hardcore, like it's the greatest fucking game ever made.
Yeah.
You know, and I think a lot of those people just can't see past the fact that it was made by the team it was made by. But I think in the end, there was a shitload of people unhappy with that game.
Yeah.
It was, and you could tell just from the demo the problems it was going to have. Granted, I have not played it. Maybe I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. For everything I've seen, though,
yeah,
I think it's exactly that. I think I made the right choice not buying that game. You still bought it, but
no, actually, I got it. It was gifted to me technically.
Oh, okay.
And then I just ended up getting rid of it because it's just like The concept in the trailers ended up being just better than the game itself.
Yeah.
Rhyme, the trailers blew me away instantly, but they blew me away because of the idea of being lost and stranded on this Mediterranean island, and then I got that.
Yeah.
And it was fucking fantastic. And then there was like, okay, so I'm kind of expecting some emotional hook or whatever, and then you get it, and even when you kind of know what's coming, you kind of predict. You might even predict it in your head, and it is a bit of a like they do kind of foresight, like, hey, you should know exactly what we're kind of implying here. And then even then, after all that, then when it hits you in the very end, you're like, oh my god, like, just punch to the balls, but in a good way, especially if you're into that.
Did you ever play Life is Strange?
No, I've watched playthroughs of it.
So I played through Life is Strange. It's one of my favorite games to make fun of. I enjoy making fun of the hipstery, over-the-top bullshit. But then I played through the prequel just recently, and like the whole prequel is about the girl who goes missing in the first game and stuff like that, and the lead up and shit. And it gets to the end, and I knew what was going to be coming. Obviously, it had to be there, but the way they did it bummed me the fuck out, and I didn't think I cared. I didn't think I invested at all in this fucking.
Yeah.
But the way they did it, I was actually like, "Fuck, that's sad." I was like, "God damn it, that's so sad."
The only thing, I can see how that happened, but the things with games like Life is Strange and even Detroit is that it's cinematic to the point of distraction in a way.
Yeah.
Because like the game is basically just, I know you do kind of control the character, but it is more or less a point and click, right?
Yeah. Oh no, it's point and click
for all intents and purposes. So it's almost feeling like you're just trying to find the correct way to keep playing the movie.
Yeah.
The way to tell a story. And
you can be a cunt, or you can do
right.
Yeah.
So you can kind of see that, the choose your own adventure novel. I really dug the way they told the story and say rhyme, where there's no dialogue in the game. There's no text in the game either. You wander around an environment, and then you see things that visually kind of might lead you down, or maybe you don't pick up on them, or maybe you do. And I've talked to some of the people who worked on the game afterwards, kind of like getting insight, like, so, and they'll ask me, well, what did you think this meant? And I'll be like, oh, the thing is, like, well, what did it mean? And they'll be like, the people who made the game, they don't want there to be a definitive answer for a lot of the stuff in it, but there is a general idea for what they were going for. Like I'm not saying what it really is, but in my own head, it's this way about it. But and I don't know. I really appreciated the fact that I was playing a game that had the story itself is it's not grand on any scale. It's very intimate, but like
it's an intimate story. That's fine.
Yeah, but
it's
like
good.
Kind of discover going through this thing with these characters who never utter a single fucking word at all throughout the game. So much more powerful through subtlety and stuff like that. Like I remember watching a film analysis thing about again going back to Mad Max Fury Road, because every film should copy some of the stuff.
More, well,
there's a moment where kind of near post where they get out of the canyon the first time. And then Furiosa she goes out of the hood, and has the big sniper rifle, and there's a moment where like he's handing Max the way they glance at each other and start handing each other ammo. It's this subtle moment of basically the characters learning to they have overcome their grievances with each other, and there's a mutual respect. Yeah, and you see their relationship develop almost not completely, but almost entirely non-verbal. And then there's a moment where they do talk to each other, but like through the exchange of actions and glances and handing ammo and stuff like that, they go from this sort of general distrust of each other, to being partners. Yeah, and it's like, I appreciate that a lot.
It's interesting. So my first year in a like production class when I went to a 4-year, like your project that you had to do was a no dialogue. You had to tell a story. And
see, I feel I would love that. I would revel in the ability to do that.
Yeah. So okay, there's a real hard thing that it comes down to, and it's a really good lesson. I think maybe not in what they wanted to teach us, but it's a really good lesson in why it's so hard to make a good film. And the reason is that you have 6 people that with undefined power over the project. So you don't have a clear hierarchy. You don't know, so it's really hard to get one specific thought down.
Yeah.
And in hindsight, I knew at the time that what we were making was mediocre at best. But, it looked beautiful. Our shit looked beautiful.
It looked beautiful.
Yeah, we had far and away the best DP, period.
It's a current Final Fantasy game.
Yeah. But it's interesting how hard it is to communicate something with no dialogue, because you realize that sound in a film is a crutch. Because film is a visual medium, but sound is so important that you can watch a film that has shitty visuals and great sound and still be okay, and even love the film. Clerks has pretty good sound in it. But you can watch a film that has beautiful visuals and shitty sound and fucking hate it. You can be like, this is a beautiful film, but the sound's so bad, fuck this film. And so sound, especially dialogue, can be a crutch because we hang off of every word. We want to hear what they're saying. We want to know what they mean. So telling a story without any dialogue, without any text, without any easily communicable, an easy medium to transfer ideas, that's really fucking hard. So if they did that, if they succeeded, I haven't played it yet. I should play it, but if they succeeded at that, I'm pretty fucking impressed.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really difficult, especially to communicate turning points and shit like that. I'm just now getting good at it, and I've been doing this for fucking 11 years. That's... And I wasn't everybody that worked on that game, around our age? They were young.
Which game?
Rhyme.
A lot of people from the video interviews, they don't look that old.
Yeah, they're young people.
They're not teens.
No, obviously,
and they're not young 20s.
They're late 20s, early 30s.
They all look like about that.
That's pretty fucking young for what they're doing.
And I don't,
especially if they achieved that.
Yeah, and I don't think the studio's not super old either. They haven't been around forever. They haven't been around that long. So, yeah, but they had a dream, if you will. They had a vision. And it was a really long, bumpy road to get there, but they executed. But I feel they executed it, especially if you have a powerful enough rig to run it on PC. They executed exactly what they wanted to make. I feel it is an absolute triumph of game design and even storytelling. It is.
I'll have to check it out.
It's not going to revolutionize anything. It's just going to be a fucking damn fine example of our medium.
So PC is the one to get it on then.
If you got a rig, if you got a rig that can run it, power beast through some of the shit on PC, definitely go PC. Otherwise, PS4 Pro, probably definitely second best, because that was the core starting point was PS4. It was a Sony game at one point.
Oh, okay. Well, I have both, so I'll probably do PC because my PC is pretty beefy. But we got to get to that number one. Yeah. What's your number one? Lay it on me. I don't want to be shocked.
The best game that came out.
Oh fuck! Wait, I have to say my number.
Yeah, okay. The best game that came out in 2017, Andrew, is
RE7.
Okay,
for
you
me.
And Max would say the same thing.
Yeah, I know Max is saying it, but he's saying for VR. I don't really give a shit about VR, so it's not for VR for me.
So again, the testament of the quality of this game is you can say it's the best game and not give a fuck about VR.
And he loves it for VR. Yeah. I bet Kenny loves it for VR too.
Well, Kenny
loves VR. I know.
Let him have it. Kenny criticize any VR game?
That's fair. He's like BoJack with everything. Just not good. Guys, if you're out there and you just want a recommendation on a game, don't go to BoJack. He's going to tell you it's good. It's good. It's good. So, RE7...
Publishers love him.
Publishers do love him. How he doesn't have a just YouTube channel that's killing it in terms of publisher backing, I don't know. But main reason that I love RE7 is that, to me, it truly revitalized one of my favorite lines of games, franchises. It revitalized, it saved it. Like they were going down a tube. They were running.
Just RE alone, like woof. Like it was not in a happy place.
It was going down. And actually, the thing is Revelations and Revelations 2 were both great. I really liked them.
Dig them. You gonna get them on Switch?
I'm really thinking about it. Because I've only played Revelations 2 on PC. Revelations 1 I played on somebody else's 3DS, and I only got to play No, I think it was my brother's. Yeah.
I know you and DJ played it one time when we went down to San Diego on my 3DS.
Oh yeah. Okay, yeah, no, I did play it on yours. I forgot about that. Funny stories about the people involved in that. But one of the things that I really loved about RE7 is also maybe one of the things that I'm kind of afraid of is that it slowed RE down again. It slowed Resident Evil down again. Part of the reason I'm afraid of that is that maybe they're going to get trapped in that. Like, it's got to be slow for VR. I mean, the only reason RE7's slow is because of VR, I think. I don't think they did it. I don't think they built it slow and then they just found out VR.
Your general movement would probably be faster, more fluid if VR wasn't a thing, I feel.
Yeah. I think VR is going to be a thing for every RE forever now, as long as VR is a thing. Basically, I think that's going to be a thing we have to deal with. But one of the main reasons I love it is that, like, 5 and 6, more 6, but 5 and 6 kind of turned into too much of an action shooter. Yeah. Got away from the horror roots. 5 I really, really loved because of co-op. But 6 had gone so balls to the wall. My favorite part of 6 being Leon's first half of his camera, because that was very much stylized horror again with some action elements. Then the rest of the game becomes action as fuck.
Garbage.
Yeah, it becomes just actiony as hell.
But bad action. Like it's not even fun.
I don't know. I had fun playing the game. Like I did have fun playing the game.
You always have fun co-op with someone, but my God, there's just the pacing and the setup and the enemy
design. But also, why would you play that game alone?
Why would you play 5 alone?
I didn't.
Oh, well.
I never played 5 alone.
I've done once, and it was like a huge mistake. It's like that for that guy, I've made a huge mistake. It's like...
never. But RE7 was just one of those games, and see, I don't agree with you that it falls apart at the boat. I think the boat is weaker than everywhere else because you're used to the rest of the stuff. I think the boat is just as strong as everywhere else. It's just, it doesn't build, so it's not different enough for you to be like, oh, fuck yeah, it stayed strong. If I had to pick a weak part, it's the mine. Yeah.
And they follow immediately after the boats. And the mines are significantly worse than the boat. It's just that the boat, the two things I have with the boat is just that it's, and really just one thing, is that you basically play through it twice immediately.
Yeah.
Both in the tape and then...
Yeah, it's back-to-back. And
dilapidated part. And it's just kind of like, it's not... Again, goes back to me in environments. It's not that interesting looking.
Yeah.
So it's more or less kind of just like run down to the bottom again. or run up to the top, run down to the bottom. So yeah. I don't particularly like you're not really seeing any new enemies. What's her name? Evelyn?
Yeah.
Not an interesting villain to me.
Well,
I mean, all.
It's just it's the girl from Fear.
Yeah, and I really liked Jack.
Jack was great.
Jack Baker a lot, and I feel like the game lost a lot with Jack. And even Margaret was more interesting than Evelyn. Evelyn was so funny when I think, I don't know if it was you who told me or whatever, but when you read the credits and then you're like, oh, like the major story consultant or someone who wrote the story is the guy who wrote Fear. I'm like,
yeah.
Did you just bring him in here just because you wanted Fear?
Yeah.
You just wanted to put the Fear girl in here, and you couldn't do it legally, so...
I mean, almost all the way down to the way she's, dressed, everything. It's just the girl from Fear. It is.
I was like, oh, really? That seemed like kind of a...
But also, one of the best clips of 2017 for my channel was from the boat.
Oh, with the door?
Yeah, with the fucking door. I loved that. So I can't shit on the boat very much because I really fucking enjoyed it. And I mean, I don't know anybody that didn't like RE7. I don't. Can you think of anybody we know that didn't like RE7?
I've not personally. I've read people who weren't really too thrilled with the game
Because they didn't like that it went first person. They wanted.
I think some people just don't like, and it's a fair thing. Some people get really dizzy with first person. They can't handle it. Some people really just didn't like. Some people just didn't like how slow it was, or they didn't really particularly like the enemies that much. Like the moss zombies, like the moss people, they just didn't quite dig the idea, general design, aesthetic of it.
I'll give them that.
I'm a little whatever about that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I will give them that because I think they're boring.
They are a little boring
in terms of just like the way they look and stuff. They're just kind of fucking. They look like a less interesting Ouroboros.
Yeah, like the big poopy swamp things.
Yeah. They're walking turds. But that being said, like I think that they were interesting enough for the mobs that they were, because like the people that you were on your way to fight, these guys were obviously distractions, and they were relatively hard to kill up until you figured out how to kill them. But the bakers themselves were the enemies. Yeah. And I felt pretty good about them. Each of them were unique enough. I mean, Lucas is annoying.
Yeah,
but
other than
cool.
the last Jack fight, which is still good, but the first two Jack fights are so fucking good.
Yeah, oh yeah. Oh my god,
I remember
they're over the top.
I got a little bit of a head start on Max on RE7. I said, dude, you are going to love how they handle the boss fights in this game. Like the game's already good. Like, it's already good just going through it, but I'm like, when they actually put you in a boss fight situation and it's like, it's fucking nuts, it's fucking crazy, it's so good. Like the fight in the garage is great, and then like you can end the fighter. The fight can go different ways with or without the car if you get in it or not. Can completely change how the fight ends or whatever. And then the fucking fight where you're in like the meat process or the basement process.
Yeah.
And like you get in a fight with Jack, and then he's like, oh hell yeah, let's go. And like he gets like the big fucking chainsaw thing on a stick, and he's like coming, and like, wow, you get a chainsaw fight with Jack. And I'm like, this game is so fucking crazy. I love this shit. This is great.
I loved it because it felt so RE4.
Yeah.
That boss fight was so fucking RE4. I was just like, yes, thank you. Bring that back. I love those. I think I loved all the boss fights in it. Really.
Like the third Jack's not bad. It's just it's not as because he's at that point he's just a big tentacle monster.
The first time that you fight Marguerite and she's down in that pit, or you're down in the pit, and everybody was like, "Oh, how many times do you think he's gonna die?" And I killed it on my first try. Like, I just stood next to the ladder and aimed up and like killed her immediately. But like I remember being almost disappointed. I was like, oh shit, did I break the game? Like that was disappointing. And then when she was still alive and gone after that, it freaked me the fuck out. So I loved that.
So not the fight where you're in like the side house?
No. So you remember when the pit that you're in to go through that tunnel to get to the side house?
Yeah.
You have to fight her. Well, I don't know what happened, but like I had killed her super easily.
Yeah.
Like I busted her shit up. And I was like, awesome. But I played that game 3 times.
Yeah.
At least 3 times. So
it's a nice thing because like the classic REs, once you know the crit path for everything, it's actually fast. You can actually burn through the game.
Yeah, and it's fun. I played twice with Phil once. I played 4 times. Twice myself, twice with Phil.
I didn't think Capcom had it in them to make a game like this again.
Honestly, like they did shock me, and I want them to carry that on. I kind of want RE2 Remake to be either third person over the shoulder like RE4, or I want it to be first person. They kind of sold me on a first person RE.
You could play Darkside Chronicles and hate yourself.
Darkside Chronicles? Why?
It's technically first person. It's a light gun. Really
no.
Shitty light gun.
No, I don't like light gun games that much.
What?
I don't. Not on console. Fuck that.
Okay, that's fair.
Like arcade light gun games. Fuck yeah.
Okay, that's fair.
On console, I don't like it at all.
Right, that makes sense. Did you play the DLC for it?
Yeah.
Both of them?
I played the Not a Hero, and I watched someone play the...
Oh, dude, you fucked up.
Yeah, Not a Hero's...
It's funny how everyone was kind of excited for Not a Hero, but like End of Zoe is...
Oh, I haven't played End of Zoe yet, and I hear it's amazing.
Is everything Not a Hero not should have been, just the quality of End of Zoe is like a pendulum swing difference or like a scale difference better than the sort of kind of meh disappointment that Not a Hero is. Like,
End of Zoe costs money though, right?
yes,
I think it's like $15.
maybe, but it's good.
How many hours is it?
Few,
Okay.
2 maybe.
Okay.
I don't know. That fucking like. Do you know anything about it?
Not really. No.
I mean, I guess I won't tell you story stuff, but you play as a guy. There's story, family, kind of like there's story connection to 7. He's not in 7 at all. He's not even mentioned. Fuck, I'll just tell you because it's the beginning of the game. You play as not Jack. His name is like Joe Baker, brother of Jack.
Oh shit.
He's not a zombie.
Yeah.
But you play as him. So the game has a fisticuffs because he's a Vietnam vet that's like got some sort of like weird track record. So
I'm in.
He's been living off the grid in the swamps on his own. And then he basically gets word of all the shit that's gone down, and he's just like, "Oh fuck, I'm gonna take care of my family." And he like doesn't trust anyone, even the good guys. But he's fisticuffs, right? So the game has this fucking punching mechanic, and it has like a spear like making mechanic too. So you like get like sticks and like bolts and nails and like make spears, and yeah, it's fucking great. And then
I'm in.
I'm only saying this because there's boss battles in End of Zoe that are absolutely of the quality of the best boss battles in 7, the main game. Like,
I'm in
for sure. It's so.
I know
fucking,
what I'm streaming next week.
It's so fucking good. Like, I'm like, it kind of like shocked me. I'm like, why is End of Zoe so fucking awesome? And Kirsty's like, it's okay.
I'm in. I'm done. I'm in. Yeah, we're good. I'm down.
That's
with
the thing about RE7. Like, I did bitch about that fucking the early DLC because I do believe it's a ripoff, but. 8 months later, they have a brand new little mini campaign come out called End of Zoe, and that's totally fair because you know that game that it wasn't done when they released the game.
And they were building it, and they put good work into it.
And it's excellent.
Yeah.
It is of excellent quality. It's kind of like, imagine if Separate Ways was amazing on RE4.
Okay.
I don't know, because it's like it's taken sort of the idea where it's like it's canon to the story, it's part of it, but it's at a different point in time. This one in End of Zoe, it's after the game. After the main campaign of 7's over. But, God, it's fun. Like, it's just, man, I would play a whole fucking game. I think his name is Joe Baker. I would play a whole fucking game with Joe.
And so, this End of Zoe takes place at the beginning of RE7?
After
After the
I
beginning?
think it's like weeks after.
Oh, at the end.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's after everything. Like, after Not a Hero.
So he goes and he kills Zoe? Is that what he's doing? Is that what happens?
No, well, the setup is like he finds her body.
Oh.
Because it's all crystallized.
Yeah.
'Cause, you know, the canon way is you saved Mia.
Yeah.
Dumb bitch girlfriend. Who lied to you. Lying hoe.
Yep.
So he finds like her crystallized just like corpse or whatever, and he thinks he's gonna, you know, the whole point of the game is he's gonna find a way to save his family. Your family, Zoe. Like,
oh shit. Okay. All right.
but she's just a rock basically. But yeah, and
I'm
then
down.
He just kind of gets into fight. You fight fucking gators. You fight. I'm totally not lying.
I can only get so erect. I'm in. I don't even want to hear more. All right. So RE7, my number one game of 2017. And yours,
It's Super
obviously.
Mario Odyssey.
Yeah, I knew it
Best
was
game
going
of
to
the
be.
year. It's polished to fuck. It's just a joy to play.
800 moons or some shit?
Yeah, 999.
God damn.
And then like it's 800. It's 800 something that you can find, and then the rest are just ones you can buy.
If you don't own a Switch, now's the time.
Great game, joy to play. I recently read like a journalist who basically hated the game and why he hated it, and I'm like, do you just? It's just one of those things where it's like, you just hate collecting things, don't you?
You just hate happiness.
Well, you just hate. Well, like, what a weird hot take to take, you know. But no, they're like, yeah, they're big environments that are only big just so you can race across them on like an animal's back. I'm like, yeah, that's fun.
I just hate fun, guys.
It's fun.
Why the fuck can't David Cage make the next Mario, okay? That way it's not fun. I don't want fun. Stop it.
Stop it.
Stop making fun
like,
games.
Not only is it a joy to play, it is brimming with creativity. They just are throwing creative ideas at you, fucking like rapid fire, one after the other. The new, like, interesting environments, new environments all the time, like, constantly doing new shit, constantly nice little details. Like if you're on the beach and you throw your hat, the dog will run up and grab it like a frisbee, shit like that. Like it just they crammed every nook and cranny with things to do, a moon to collect here or there.
I'm down with that. I want to play it.
They everything in that game is just top notch. Story's great.
I know we were kind of concerned that it wasn't going to look that great after we saw some stuff on it, like the city levels and shit. Did that end up being?
I mean, New Donk City still looks weird because Mario is a cartoon character in a realistic city, but it doesn't really look. I mean, it looks a damn sight better than like Sonic Adventure.
Oh, okay.
But they do a lot. There's some really funny fucking things they do with the city stuff. There's. I mean, here's one that's like I missed it my first playthrough, but if you go into the movie theater in the game, you'll see a bunch of people watching a movie theater, and you can go in. There's like a little pipe on where the exits are on the bottom. You go through it, and it plays the movie on the movie screen, and it's Super Mario Brothers 1, and it pops you into Super Mario Brothers 1, and you play the whole first level, and people are like cheering in the audience, like reacting to how you're doing.
That's pretty fucking cool.
Like just fucking nutty thing like that. We're like, oh, okay, now play through the first level of Super Mario Brothers, but you have an audience because you're playing it on a movie screen in the theater, and all the people are reacting to how good or bad you're doing at playing the game. And they're like, yeah, like shit like that. Like
that's pretty awesome.
They really thought everything out in this game. Like they
went for it.
There's no dull moment. There's no shitty moment. There's moments that surprise the fuck out of you. There's levels and areas that are like, is this whoa? Like, okay, yeah, New Donk City's one thing, but there's the one level everyone knows about. When you go to it, you're like, what the fuck? Like, I definitely didn't think we'd see a game level that like this, or based on this look or art style, like at all.
How many levels does it have? A fuckload?
12.
That's a pretty good amount.
Around 12-ish. No, some of them are small. Some of them are really small. Some are really big. And
that's still a pretty good amount, though.
There's lots.
I mean, how many worlds was in like Mario 64?
It's about that.
Oh, okay.
About that, around there. It's about the same-ish about total as Mario 64. Around there.
I can dig that.
Game's constantly surprising, delighting, easy to pick up and play. There's much like other Mario games where like you'll get to the ending and you'll have this really satisfying ending after about 6 hours of gameplay and you get the credits, but that's really only 80% of the game is yet to be seen or done. Like you may not get many new levels, but there is you go back after you get the credits and you will open up more stuff in the levels, and you can do a lot more stuff, and like there's a lot more content, and all the real challenging stuff is post credits. Because they do the thing where it's like it's an amazing experience to get to the credits, but like if you want to find all the real challenge and do all the crazy stuff, you keep playing after the credits, and they entice you to play after the credits too. It's not just like, hey, goes the title screen, bye. No, like they tease you, they ease you in it, and they're like, hey, by the way, look where you are after the credits. Holy fucking shit, this is amazing. Like,
okay.
You want to keep playing? Like if you get a whole bunch of stuff, we'll get you to a new level.
Have I ever told you what one of my favorite Mario games is?
No.
Sunshine?
Sunshine, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know why, but like Sunshine is very divisive.
Yeah.
Like people are all like, you either love it or you hate it. Nobody's ever just like, Sunshine's okay. No, people are always like, oh fuck, Sunshine's great. Or other people are like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
I honestly
Sunshine?
haven't played Sunshine since I beat it when it first came out. I loved it.
Yeah, I really liked it. I played it with Jay recently on Dolphin.
Yeah.
And it is insane how good it looks on that emulator.
Dolphin's pretty good, isn't it?
Yeah, that fucking up-res thing that it's got. What the fuck? And then you like switch into the cutscenes when you're playing it, and it looks awful.
Yeah.
I was like, holy shit.
Compressed as fuck.
Yeah, I mean, but that game's beautiful when you play it on Dolphin, and it runs pretty fucking good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that game. I love the music in Sunshine a ton. So, yeah. So if it has as good a music as Sunshine, I'm gonna love this.
There are some tracks that are fucking phenomenal in Odyssey, and then there's
some that are just awful.
A lot of the music is it's good. It's okay. It's not bad.
Okay.
It's adequate. And there's some music that's just phenomenal, and some that are just like, oh yeah, that's weird. Like there's a level that's like a forest factory level, and it has a super 60s surfer theme. Like Beach Boy sounding thing. Is a weird ass decision. Doesn't really fit.
I don't like the Beach Boys.
I don't know how else to describe it. Just like kind of like sound.
I know.
To the soundtrack of one level. I think that's probably the one that sticks out because it's like, why the fuck would that be? Whatever.
An odd fucking choice.
The lake level music is amazing. Obviously, like New Donk City, especially when you're doing like the festival with the song.
Yeah.
Super good. The first world is the Cap Kingdom, but the second world where the dinosaur is, where you first see the T-Rex, that has out fucking standing music. And then like other levels have really good music too, but it's not the best soundtrack to a Mario game. It's just it goes.
But it's good.
It's mostly good. Sometimes it's great. It's not Xenoblade 2. Like,
so some people are saying that this is the best Mario game they've ever made.
It's hard to. I mean, I don't know what to argue that it's not, other than just that maybe you like some of the worlds or levels better in some of the other games. That, like on a personal level.
Well, the only argument that I've read anything on is that Galaxy blows it out of the water, but they don't really say anything. Like any of the stuff that says that, they don't say anything supporting why. So I don't know why that would be. But you also loved Galaxy too, right?
Yeah.
I never played Galaxy.
Galaxy 1's pretty amazing. Oh, it's splitting hairs at that point, honestly.
So Mario Odyssey, okay. I gotta check it out. I'll borrow it. I'll stream it.
You should.
Yeah, I don't have the money to buy it, but since I already bought it for Phil, he'll bring it over.
Yeah.
That son of a bitch.
Yes.
So I'm sure we left out favorite games from people, but again, like we said, don't take it personally. It's just games we played. For instance, we didn't say Neo, and I know that is on a ton of people's top of their lists.
I didn't play enough of it, and honestly, it's just personally not a game I would enjoy playing.
We liked it when we played the demo. Right?
I think it's good. It probably is. If someone would say it's a top 10 material game, sure.
Yeah, I know a lot of people love that shit. Ask Creed Origins. I mean, Welzenbach would probably list in his top 5.
Persona 5 is the big one, I think.
Persona 5 is probably going to be the biggest one. Yeah,
I didn't fucking play it. So
are you gonna stream it?
Yeah.
I feel like someone's gonna have you stream it.
Yes, I'm gonna play it. Better be fucking good.
And I haven't got to play Wolfenstein 2 yet because it won't run on PC. But if there's like a game that I did play that you're shocked that I didn't list, maybe it's just because I forgot, hit me up on Twitter. You can find me at Funkmachine, PHUNKMACHINE, or you can find Matt at his YouTube channel.
Yeah, youtube.com/YoVideogames.
And we're officially now we're all on the Discord. It's the official YoVideogames Discord. Max is on it.